Okay, welcome to my video series of the White Oak Railway. Following the Beckley rail trail, I made a discovery, so I got off track. No pun intended there, but I got off the trail because I noticed something weird in the bushes. Apparently there's railroad ties here. There used to be another side spur. I probably have been used in a long time. Those almost completely rotted away. I say that has not been used in my lifetime. Maybe not, if not long. Yeah, I know they've probably not been used in my lifetime. Look how small the spikes are. If I can get to that. The actual rail trail, though, the part that's the actual rail trail, of course. Okay, that was painful. Yes, I got my arm taken on the thorn bushes trying to grab this tiny spike. The part of the actual rail trail I was trying to say, that was still being used up until the late 90s. That's going to be sore for a little while. But I want to point this weirdness out. I didn't know there used to be a thing there, but I'm taking this home with me. Just a random small spike. This is the one that is being used up until as late as 97, 98. But I wonder what used to be there. Some kind of side spur. Looks almost like narrow gauge. Well, I don't know. You just don't see spikes this small. So it's kind of obvious that's an old side spur. I don't remember. I do remember going back and forth across the rail crossing in the school bus in the early 90s, back in 97 when the track was still being used occasionally to school here. And I do remember coming up here with my mom a time or two. In fact, one of the last trains ever to come down this line, I remember we got stopped by. Only had like 12 cars. I had absolutely no idea at the time that would be one of the last trains ever to come through here. When you're a kid, I guess you don't think about stuff like that. So I'm kind of confused. There's another tie there. Over here, there was a train station a long time ago. All I can remember, as long as I can remember, it's just been a foundation. Although when I was growing up in the 90s, it was a lot more noticeable because the bus wasn't covering it now. Now you only can see it from the road. During the winter time, you can see it from the main road down there from the highway. Used to be, you can see it year round, because back in the 90s, this hillside was kept clear. CSX for some reason kept this stretch through here clear, where the old freight depot and stuff was. I don't know why they kept this little stretch clear, but they did. Well, mainly because that's going down through there. Trying not to move the camera too much. I don't know, maybe there's a reason they kept the area where the train station used to be. Maybe it has something to do if they didn't want the brush going into the high wall and damaging the high wall. But I do remember the rail spur coming off here. The Beckley newspaper used to get about one boxcar a week. I talked to a guy who worked for the Beckley newspaper in the 60s. He remembers in the 60s through the 70s, them still getting a one carload of paper a week. They have a boxcar with these huge paper rolls, and they take a forklift and unload the boxcar. Of course, when I was growing up, the rail spur still went through there. Surprisingly, it still went in there. It's kind of obvious it wasn't used because the crossing was paved over. So it's kind of obvious it wasn't used anymore. It was weird, the spur was still there and the switch was still there, but the crossing's paved over. I'm trying to remember. The person I talked to, he's like I'm trying to remember. I hope I don't move the camera too much this video, because I'm not going to try again to redo that video. That was painful. CWASPR 1934. Now that's old. I've never noticed that before. As many times I've been through here, I've walked this trail many times, I've never noticed that. Oh, that's where the relay case, that's where the signal tower was. That's where the signal the bells were for the railroad crossing, for the lights. Relay case plate. I don't know what the relay case set. Maybe the relay case set there, I can't remember for sure. Oh no, that's for more lights. Never mind, that's for another set of lights for both crossings here. I cannot remember where we like I set. I should remember. Of course, I do remove the track in the late 90s when I was in middle school. Oh, low. I'm gonna head this way. That one up there I've got some videos on. I stopped I've done two videos up there, and I think I stopped the second one behind Wendy's, which is maybe I don't know, maybe a little more than football field saloon away from here. But here's one of the only, this is literally the only original railroad bridge left on this line, on this waterway, because when they widened the creek back there, that area was actually, that bridge was removed for a modern bridge, because that railroad bridge was removed when they widened the creek. And then there's another railroad bridge up here that was removed when they widened the creek up here too. And then there's a couple that go out into the main, onto that spur, which I like to film trains on, which is still active, by the way. Go in the map's got the still active rail spur, and it's still good, still not a bad idea. In fact, today I went down to Prince and filmed the train that probably came off that spur that went across the river, over the river, and Prince probably came off that spur. I just know this will be the final video on this stretch of the railroad, of the railway project. I'll probably do a video back at Cranberry, which is about 3 miles in the opposite direction of here, because that area never became part of the rail trail. It's just a right of way that goes deep in the woods. Oh, by the way, this is flooded real bad the other day. Oh, there's another rail spur down there too. I'll point that out here in a minute. Apparently that company got stuff by rail back in the day. That's probably why this particular line survived. I don't ever remember this one being used. The one over that way that I just came off of is the one that's been used in the 90s. This one I remember being here, but I don't remember it being used. The coal mine actually that up here in Sprague, it shut down about 1963, and they quit running coal trains through here. Cranberry mine was still going through the 70s, but down there's actually evidence of the rail spur. There's a flat area. There was some railroad ties here not too long, a while back, but I think the new owners walking the building pulled them up and removed them. But there was a rail spur down there at one time. They did get stuff by rail. You can actually still see the door. I think when they first opened the trail, there's still more evidence that spur, that side spur. In fact, speaking about evidence, there's some railroad ties there. Of course, the railroad waterway curves away up here. The railroad waterway used to go straight, in the city of Beckley's attempts to control the flooding. They keep failing. Probably just 2 days ago when all that rain came through, that whole area is underwater again. I don't know if it got in Captain D's or not, but I know that whole area is underwater and it's deep. I mean, it's an insane amount of rain. 2 inches of rain in less than an hour. Trying to see if we can tell where the track used to be over there. Yep. I don't know what this is. I just know that, yep, there is where the track used to go in. You could actually tell a little bit where the spur used to go in. The industrial spur went right through here, and you could tell. Probably came out here, where that big gate is. You know, they may got, yep, you could tell there's the gate. The well line went right straight through here. That fed that. It didn't go, the spurling went as far as the road there, it dead ended there. Just probably at the end of the building there. They just back in boxcars and unload them. Of course, the actual rail line itself went straight where this big pond is. When the city of Beckley redone all this to try to control the flooding, the rail line was actually removed. the right of way was moved. The trail was moved over here, is what I'm trying to say, because the actual rail line went at an angle and came out over here. And the city of Beckley spent probably millions on these projects. Look at all this. It's insane. To think all this walking, it don't help at all. But the railroad track, it's sad that the actual original alignment of the rail line was removed for this project. It was a failed attempt at controlling the flooding through here. It still floods bad there. If it start raining now, a thunderstorm, then pour down the rain extremely heavy for like 15-20 minutes, all that would be underwater. I mean, it don't take much. That's probably still draining from a couple of days ago, I bet, because it's Saturday. I'm filming this video on a Monday, and it's on a Saturday when it got all that rain, over 2 inches of rain in less than an hour. That was intense rain. I mean, that was crazy rain. It missed Mount Hope. That's what makes it so crazy. I wonder about when that one place stopped getting stuff for well. It's interesting to think about, because apparently that place back there. Okay, I better end the video, as well as how long the video is getting.